Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jim LaBuda here once again. And today we are going to take a look at the golf swing of Jiyai Shin. Now, Jiyai is from South Korea. She's a former #1 player in the world. She has 2 major championships to her name, winning 2 women's British Opens. And this past weekend, she finished tied for second in the U.S. Women's Open, tied with Charlie Hull, 3 strokes behind the eventual winner, Allison Corpuz. She's got a very unique golf swing, so let's go ahead and take a look at what makes her swing unique. As she starts moving the golf club away from the golf ball here, what you're going to see is when the golf club gets parallel to the ground, club head is very, very outside her hands. This is kind of old-time Ricky Fowler-esque. This is what he was trying to get away from, but Ricky's club head was much more outside of his hands. Difference is that when Jiyai Shin makes this move into the top of her swing, she doesn't get that left arm below her right shoulder. So as she gets to this position in the swing here, I'm going to put a line on the shaft of the club. And what that's going to show us at this point is that her backswing here is actually very, very steep. Because you can see how that line points really, really far inside the golf ball. So this is leading to a very, very steep backswing. As she continues to the top of the swing, you can see again, the left arm goes across that right shoulder. You can see it above that, so she's not flat. Ricky Fowler, because Ricky's arm would be down in this range. But what this does lead to is you can see here how the club does get across the line at the top of the swing. So for most players, what this would mean is that she would be steep in transition, possibly even coming a little bit more over the top. But Jiyai Shin makes it an incredible move where she uses her lower body here, really starts shallowing the club out. And you can see that she goes from a steep backswing to definitely more of a shallow downswing. Because now if I put the line on that shaft, you can see how that's basically pointing right at the golf ball. And this is the position you really want to look for in your downswing. So if you've got a little bit steeper of a backswing, that's not a problem. You have to definitely make sure you shallow it out in the downswing, but the key is how do you shallow that out? I really love the move that Jiyai Shin makes here in her swing. Again, she starts with the lower body, but then we get this right arm and the right elbow. Feel like that really drops into her side, and that's really what helps her lower or shallow out that golf club. Now all she has to do from this point is continue to turn. As she turns in through impact, you can see the club's definitely moving from the inside, and she releases the golf club into a nice full finish. So obviously, if you are a little steeper in the backswing, this is a former #1 player in the world, 2 major championships to her name. You can have a steep backswing and still shallow the golf club out in the downswing. The key is how do you make it work for you? It's not something we would teach to players today. We would definitely teach in the backswing here in this position to get the golf club a little bit more laid off, a little bit shallower going back. But again, being a former #1 player in the world with 2 British Opens, who can argue with her results?